Today's video is sponsored by Coconut Monkey Electronics for custom handmade pickups in a variety of cool colors and materials and custom rewinds. Check out their website and take their perfect pickup quiz. And remember, when you support my sponsors, you support this channel, and I sure appreciate it. Okay. Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? Brad the Guitarologist here. We're gonna do several things, I believe, knock a bunch of stuff out I've been meaning to get to. First of all, I've got some viewer mail here. One of those is an LP, which should be kind of cool. Another one came all the way from one of my friends in Scotland. I've also got something I am wanting to do with this new microscope that I got that I reviewed in a video. I'm going to modify this boom arm, this articulated arm that I use with my regular camera. Usually this camera that I'm holding sits right here on this, and I move it around and I'm able to place it where I want it when I'm doing repairs and whatnot. But it would be really nice to be able to use this camera on this arm instead of it being restricted to use on this station. In order to do that, unfortunately, they've placed the power too close to the mount, but they have the power here. The external monitor is there. So what I'm gonna have to do at the very least is make room for the power cable to come in. So what I'm thinking I might have to do here, and this will be something we try to do today. I'm gonna have to come over here with a drill and start drilling holes and see if I can't get a hole big enough to get this USB cable to fit in there so that I can use it on this boom. So we'll do that today and see how that works out. Now this, if you want one of these, this is a newer. I got this in a package deal with it was a microphone and a bunch of other little accessories, and this was one of the things. I've actually gotten a lot of use out of this thing. I've got it bolted down to my desk permanently, and it's just seen a lot of use and has been a really good one, actually. So if you want one of these, I highly recommend getting one if you do this kind of stuff on YouTube, or if you just want to document your own work for your own purposes. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, first up I wanted to comment on this endoscopic camera that I featured in a video a while back. Now this wasn't given to me. I bought this on Banggood.com. Do not buy this. If you haven't bought one already, don't do it. I plugged mine in and it just, man, it was the milkiest, crappiest image I think I've ever seen on a camera, really, out in the last 10 or 15 years. Just a terrible image. And I'll show you some of the footage that I got destroying this camera, and I kind of destroyed it while the camera was running, so I kind of got some interesting visuals out of that. So if nothing else, I've got some stuff I can use on my end screens while everything rolls out. So don't buy one of these. So there's tip number one. Like I said, we're going to get to some viewer mail, but first I think I want to try to go ahead and modify this thing so that we can make this work with it. So this will be just kind of a catch-all video. Okay, I hope you're going to be able to see this. I've got the camera mounted on a tripod. You're going to at least be able to see how limited the tripod method is as opposed to using this articulated arm. This gets you much closer to the work, obviously. What I did in the first place to make this thing, it doesn't come with this camera attachment on the end. I added this, and what I did was basically just drill a hole in the side of an old tripod mount. So I got an old tripod at Goodwill, a plastic one, and just disassembled the rest of it because it was broken anyway. I used it until it wore out. And then I decided to modify this thing for use. And it's probably the best thing I ever did, really, in terms of upping the value of the videos I do. And all I did basically, again, was just drilled a hole in the side of the thing and just threaded this this in. And it worked out pretty well. But what I want to do now, I want to avoid, obviously, messing up my threaded hole here. But I might be able to use, well, I don't know. I was going to say I might be able to use the old hole where it used to mount. But I think what I want to do is kind of mark where I need to be here. Start with a small hole and work my way up. Hey! That was perfect. That's right in the dead center of that old hole. Alright, let's move up a couple of steps and we'll just kind of gradually widen the hole. So here's what I ended up with. I think I'm going to have to widen this out just a little bit on this end. Okay, so here's what I've got. Here's my boom arm. Here's my mount with my new hole drilled for my power supply. And once again, I think I'm going to go ahead and drill another hole over here for the monitor supply also for the HDMI cable. And I'm going to brainstorm about a way to mount some LEDs on this arm as well, which would be nice. I might even take these off of this base, because that base right there, nah, I don't know. I might leave them on the base, because the base will be useful for some things, like if we're doing little boards or whatnot, I could still use the base. So I'll probably leave those LEDs, but I need to mount up something else for lights on this arm. It would be nice to have some built-in LEDs maybe coming off of over this side, you know, or over this side, or I could put like a ring light or something on this. I may look into that, having a ring light mounted down here and then just have a separate power supply running for that. But I'll look into that a little bit later. But for now, hey, yeah, that worked out pretty well. If you guys are ever out looking at the Goodwills or thrift stores or whatever, look for one of these. These are those Rock Band microphones. I just happened to buy 2 of them just because they're so damn cheap. I've been getting these for nothing, like 99 cents, and actually you'd be very surprised. The quality of these is not that bad. I mean, it's got a decent weight to it, so you can kind of feel that there might be something more to this than meets the eye. But because, you know, Rock Band is kind of, you know, last week's news, these things are just going for nothing at Goodwills. You can pick them up, and they're USB, and they're Logitech microphones, and my Windows 10 machine recognized them right away. And actually I was experimenting with some voiceover work with one of them the other night, and actually it sounded not half bad. I was pleasantly surprised. It's a highly directional microphone as well, so if you're in a noisy environment, you know, if you're in an office or something and you want to do dictation and you just have a lot going on around you, this is going to isolate out just your voice when you'd speak directly into it. Because of its directionality, it's not going to pick up any of the crap to the left or right. So not a bad microphone. Keep an eye out for these, man, if you go to Goodwill or whatever for 99 cents. I mean, if you can find them anywhere near that kind of price, go ahead and pick them up, because they're worth it all day if you do this kind of stuff.
But you really might want to sterilize them first, and also a pop filter is nice.
Okay, so here's my second hole drilled over here for my HDMI, and I kind of wallowed it out a little bit to make it large enough. But yeah, it would be really helpful if Star or some other company would come up with something like this. Just mold this into a part so that we can mount it on a typical microphone boom like this, articulated arm. And I'm sure you would sell some of these. I know you would. You just sell it alongside your microscopes, and you should get some extra revenue out of it for probably not a lot of investment. I mean, it wouldn't cost much to mold one of these. You'd have to make it out of pretty good plastic. This is a very hard, nice quality of plastic. This isn't cheap, brittle, breakable plastic. This is not easy to break, this stuff. So you'd want to make it good quality, but if you molded this, yeah, I'm sure you'd sell some. Okay, so I went back and cut even more out of this thing. I just went ahead and cut this whole end off because it's not really necessary anyway. It's not structurally necessary, so that's going to make it possible, really easy actually, to remove this cable, the HDMI cable. So let's put it back on the arm and see how it works. All right, awesome. There we go. So now our HDMI cable is very easy to remove. We've got plenty of room to get it in and out. This power cable is a little bit more difficult, but it's very easy. When you just release this, you can pull the unit off of here, and then you can release your cable and then get everything apart. Really easy to do. And now I can actually inspect very large boards. And not only that, but I can do it with my monitor intact. So let's see, let's look at some stuff here. See, this is going to allow me to just kind of move my arm around. I can move it down, I can move it up, and this is going to be way better than that little thing right there. And the only thing I'm really missing, like I said, now at this point is I'm missing some LED lights mounted to this arm. And the beauty of this kind of setup is I could actually, if I wanted to, do multiple camera setups now. I could do the board shots with this one, which is going to be really clear and really nice 1080p. And I could take the camera that you're looking at, this one here, and I could set it over here on that tripod right there and get more of a wide angle shot of me with the whole, the whole unit. So that might make for some more interesting videos, more interesting angles, and certainly I'm going to be able to get some really good shots, I think, with this, and just the ability to inspect circuitry for broken solders and things like that has just gone up quite a lot. And the presence of more lighting is something that I'm going to look into and I'm going to strive for. But as for right now, this is absolutely wonderful. All right, let's turn our attention to some viewer mail that I've been neglecting to open for a little while now. This one, as we can see from our microscopic camera view here, our customs declaration says we have some guitar pickups here, and this came all the way from Great Britain. So let's open it up. Okay, so these guitar pickups come from Martin Reed of Bonnie Rig, Scotland, I think. Is that right? Bonnie Rig, Scotland. So let's see what we have here. Okay. We have a note. It says, hello Brad, here are... what does that say? Here are the pickups, an old three-way switch. I hope you might find a use for them. Martin Reed. Man, I appreciate it, Martin. Let's see what we've got, man. I think it's been a little while now since he sent these, but, and again, I apologize for not doing a video on this sooner, but just haven't really had the time. I've been trying to catch up with other things. But I think he said he upgraded some pickups in one of his guitars, and these are what were in there, the whole harness. Yeah, cool. See, these are nice and yellowed on the top, which will look nice in something. Yeah, and it is. It's the entire harness. So this would be good, like if I get a guitar that just is a shell of a guitar, like actually I'd have one in the other room right now, which might these might go in nicely. So yeah, that's very cool. Thanks a lot, Martin. I appreciate that. We'll probably make a project guitar out of these and do a video on it.
Okay, I need to cut in with a voiceover here. This package was sent to me by a gentleman, and I do not know who it was sent to me by. If it's you, please comment down below. I tried to find your email but couldn't find our correspondence. But anyway, this was sent to me by a gentleman who saw that I had a PV Triumph 60 in the video where I put up my shelves, and I said that that Triumph 60 was missing the foot switch. Well, this is the end for that foot switch, and the amp is fairly useless without the foot switch. It's kind of stuck in ultra overdrive mode without it. And I did have another end connector, and this is like a odd, like 6-pin DIN connector or something like that. So they're kind of hard to find, but he sent me this one, which was better quality than the one that I already had, which I did end up finding. But what I might do is actually build 2 of these foot switches and just throw the second one up on eBay or something, perhaps, because they're fairly rare foot switches. But anyway, yeah, this amp is fairly useless without this foot switch, so I sure appreciate it. And sorry I forgot your name, man. I just lost our correspondence.
All right, moving right along. I got this package also in the mail the other day, and I have no clue what this might be, so let's check it out. This is from, I'm sorry if I mispronounced this, this is from Michael Swiniarski. Awesome, dude. All right. Hey, I got some more Voskhds. Those are pretty cool. And more feathers. Those are excellent. All right, man. He sent me some real Hakko tips. Soldering tips. That's awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Actually, there's a couple of them here. Let's see. He's got a note here as well. All right. Brad, I've enjoyed watching you for some time now. I did a little research and found out that the official Hakko brand tips are compatible with both of your soldering irons. Cool. I also included a Maggard razor's slant safety razor head. Interesting. So this one is like, this has got a slant to it. Check it out. That's nice. I've never heard of Maggard or Maggard or whatever that is right there. I'll put a link down in the description if you guys want to go check them out. You were just in time with those tips, and thank you very much. Okay, and this, which looks like an LP, comes from Mike Gervasi, and he lives in New Bedford, Massachusetts. This is his album, Paths by Gervasi. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Sorry if I'm not. A lot of acoustic guitars and horns and things like that. Looks like you might have a little bit of a folky vibe maybe going on here. Man, I appreciate that. And if I can, like I said, if I can find some links to your music, I will certainly put those down in the description or in the first comment, so you guys make sure to look for that. And you know, go support some of these people who send me some of this stuff, man. If you like what you hear, then you know, go pick up the LP, see if he's got some left, and go support these artists. Well, that's all the viewer mail for now, but since we're on the subject of vinyl, I thought I'd show you a couple of things I found at Goodwill the other day. And I never find anything hardly at Goodwill except for, you know, like Manitovi's greatest hits, or, you know, find a lot of Tijuana brass and stuff like that, but, you know, you usually don't find anything that are blues or rock and roll. But this is kind of cool. This was a Bo Diddley album that I guess, you know, is from the 70s. I think. Yeah, RCA 1976. But check out the guest appearances on this thing, man. I was looking at this. I mean, first of all, I was going to buy it anyway because it was Bo Diddley album, and you just never see them at Goodwill. I guess they're still $1 at Goodwill or whatever it is. But look at all of the guest appearances, man. Carmine Appice or Appice, Elvin Bishop. I mean, he's a badass drummer. He used to drum for Ozzy and everybody, really. Elvin Bishop, a lot of names here I recognize. Joe Cocker, Billy Joel, Albert Lee, Alvin Lee, I mean, Roger McGuinn from the Byrds, Keith Moon, Leslie West down here. So this thing ought to be pretty cool. I haven't even gotten a chance to listen to it yet, but it's got what looks like a Bo Diddley jam. What is this, like? I guess this whole side is just one big long rock out session or something, 16, 17 minutes long. It does have the punch out, but you know, oh well. I'm not complaining. And then I found a Willie Nelson disc. It's got a cover of Bridge Over Troubled Water, which I've never heard that, I don't think. A Wider Shade of Pale. But yeah, so there's some stuff I found at Goodwill. You just never find anything hardly anymore, so I thought that was noteworthy. Also, I want to open some mail. Okay, first of all, I got some of these, and you can probably guess what they are, and you might even be able to guess what this is based on what these are. This is a solderless breadboard. The only breadboard that I have is a small one. I don't even know where it is right now. It's in a drawer, but it's a small one. And if we're going to do anything at all with these Korg new tubes, I was going to have a decent sized breadboard. So I went ahead and ordered one from Banggood. This is not something they sent to me. This is something I bought myself. But this will be cool because we'll be able to also give this a decent review, run through its paces. I don't know what these are. I guess these are probably feet for the thing. And these will go here for connections, external connections. So I'll have to set all that up. But yeah, we'll get into that. But this is one of the things that I was going to need, and all these also are for, you know, various making connections on a breadboard. So I'll be able to do a little bit more breadboarding, probably for this project, for the new tube stuff, and also in the future we'll do more breadboarding stuff probably. I might even get into building a little pedal here or there. I was looking into possibly doing a, because I was thinking about the Noki Edwards when he died in that video that I made. You know, I was just listening to that guitar tone again, and that fuzz that he was getting on some of those tracks. And it's just, I mean, to me, it just has a really deep, soulful tone to it. I don't know what it is about it. I absolutely love it. So I was thinking about maybe making a clone just to cut our teeth on this channel, doing pedals. I'm not a real pedal hound, but something like that I probably would actually use from time to time, or, you know, at least it might be fun building one. So we might do that. We might christen this thing with a build like that, or we'll at least be able to use it on the new tube stuff. So, and if you want a breadboard like this wasn't very much. This thing was, I think, less than 20 bucks. It's probably the first thing I should do is put the feet on this. I don't think these have any double-sided sticky tape or anything on them. Those are rinky-dink feet anyway. I think I'll get some better feet. So right away, there's one little complaint, that they didn't have double-sided sticky tape, or, you know, you're going to have to provide your own adhesive for your feet. And I don't want to go all the way to the corners with my feet. I want to make sure I'm under something solid, like right here, probably. These are the kinds of videos I probably should be doing, like a live stream or something, but every time I think about doing a live stream, it just gives me nightmares, because, you know, I see so many live streams. Some of them are interesting, and, you know, and you know, the dudes have something to say, and they kind of have a good flow to them. But then you get a lot of them that are just kind of like a guy reading comments, and it's silent, and you're watching a guy sit there read comments, and then every now and then he'll say something to somebody he knows, some kind of inside joke, or, you know, and it's like, why am I watching this? It's like, why am I torturing myself with this? So, you know, I have a feeling that my live streams would be more like that and less like the interesting ones where, you know, people actually have something to say and they have good, you know, continuity. There's some serious money being made on the super chat thing. I watched some of them, and my God, some of the big channels, jeez, dude. I was watching, who was it? I was watching Philip DeFranco or something like that. I think it was him. He did a live stream the other day, and it was like the super chats were just going as fast as a normal person's chat. And he was making like hundreds of dollars a minute, it must have been. I mean, because I was like, holy crap. Why doesn't he just do live streams all the time? Because he was just raking it in on the super chats. Just incredible. Let's see here. These are going to be our connectors for, you know, probably for power. And what I'll do is kind of make some jumper wires from here over to the power lines. But I'll go ahead and install these. But yeah, you know, also on the live streams, I think for me it would get pretty soul destroying pretty quickly, because, you know, you'd feel obligated to try to answer everyone's questions or to try to address everybody, and then you would get a lot of the same things over and over and over again, and, you know, and you have that element of like Dance Monkey Dance, you know. Here's a peanut dance. So you know, I'm not Mr. Bojangles, so I don't know. I don't think I would take to the whole live stream mentality very well. All right. So there's that. I've got some upgraded feet on there. So there's that breadboard. Well, my wife just popped in with the news that her iMac's fucked up, so that could be a future repair video right there. Should be an interesting one. I might even be able to break in my new microscope doing some board level soldering, who knows, but there's definitely something wrong on a hardware level with that thing. So Should be interesting. Looking to the future. Yet another thing in line for me to repair. One last thing I wanted to look at. I don't know. I've ordered a couple of albums recently. I thought I might just open this and see which one this is. Now this 4 Ventures albums. Oh, excuse me, 4 Ventures albums. Walk, Don't Run, The Ventures, Another Smash, and The Colorful Ventures in one set. 2 LP set. Lots of good stuff. This is their first 4 albums, I believe. And these are ones I do not have. I've got like 15 Ventures albums, but I did not have these. And these have got some of their best stuff on them. And I've got a lot of these on compilations also, but this is a nice set, and I really couldn't pass it up. I didn't even know they made these. Made in the EU. So this is a European import, I believe. But I found this on, I was looking around on Amazon and found it. And what caught my eye was the cover, because I'd never seen the cover before. Obviously, what caught my eye was the cover. But I'd never seen this cover before. And then I noticed it was like 4 albums that I didn't have in one, so I had to get it. Thank you to everyone who sent me stuff. Thanks for sticking around for this long video. Kind of meandering, just rambling video. Hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't done so already. Please hit the bell to receive all notifications. Apparently, even when you do that, they're not going to send you notifications half the time. Hell, I get more notifications from YouTube from channels that I used to be subscribed to and then unsubscribed from than I do some of the stuff that I want to see that I've clicked the bell on. So I don't know. I've given up trying to figure out YouTube's crazy, stupid algorithm, which obviously does not work and just punishes some people. But anyway, there's that. You guys have a nice one. Take care. Later.
Okay, ready?